Hi. You're listening to Pacific Mornings with Carlo for your Thursday morning. Whawhetai Lassi for your company this morning. It's 27 past 7. Now, with only 9 days left until this year's general election, we catch up with Green Party MP Teanau Tuiono for the latest updates from his party. And with that, we say good morning, Morena, kia orana, te apopongi Teanau, and welcome to the show.
Well, Bungi Manea, good to be here. Good morning, everybody.
Morning, good morning indeed. Now, advance or early voting has started Teanau, and there's only 9 days left until the 14th of October. The polls are still not looking good for a centre-left coalition that would involve the Greens getting into government. How confident are you that the Greens will be in government after polling day?
Well, we can only do what we can do. We're focusing on our game, getting out there, talking to people in the community, putting out our policies and talking to people. I'm getting a really good reception with our different political positions around, rental controls, making sure that we do everything to protect the environment, look after the climate, having an income guarantee. All of those things are resonating really well with our people. So we've just got to keep continuing doing what we're doing.
Now, Labour Party Chris Hipkins has said he believes there has been more racism and misogyny in this election than any previous one. What's your reaction? Is he correct from your experience so far?
Yeah, he is correct. He is correct. It's a very toxic. It has been a very toxic campaign. You've seen it with the vandalizing of billboards and the sorts of comments that people are leaving. Some of the candidate meetings that I've been at, people have said racist things, and that's not good. We've seen the politics being dragged in that direction, and just noting that there has been threats. Whanana Fessel Collins was threatened.
Mm.
I was also at a education debate with Angela Roberts, and she told me about the event where she got slapped at a candidate event as well. So not good.
Not good indeed. There was an interesting story by Tim Murphy in the newsroom recently. He wrote that the Greens are in the dispiriting position of having a good election campaign, but facing years again in opposition, watching climate and social equity gains up undone. It must be frustrating for your party, the idea of possibly ending up in opposition again. What's your reaction?
It can be frustrating, but I try to take an optimistic point of view of it. We keep doing what we're doing. The politics don't change for us. We do our politics based on our values, doing everything we can to support our communities, supporting the climate. Those are the things that we're bringing to this election. And what I would say is, I would encourage everybody to go and talk to other people, get them out there to vote. This is a very important election. We could either get dragged to the right and talking about a whole lot of things that are really just the politics of distraction, or we should be talking about the issues that really are important for people, making sure that everybody can put food on the table, keep the lights on, and have a room, have a warm rooms, and warm houses, and doing everything that we can to look after the climate and the environment.
Now, yesterday the Green Party released a media release titled "Only the Green Party will build houses at the scale that Aotearoa needs." Can you tell us more about this?
We need more public housing. We need more social housing. We need more housing right across the board, and we are incredibly ambitious in that space. And it's also really important that the people in power use the levers that they have. Here in Aotearoa, New Zealand, uh, uh, we are the only country within the OECD which doesn't have a capital gains tax, or wealth tax, or stamp duty, or any of those kinds of things. So, in the Greens, we're saying, hey, look, we can pay for all this stuff. We can do all these things, looking after renters, looking after students. If we have a wealth tax, the gap between the wealth and the incredibly wealthy and the poor is massive, and we need to do everything that we can to bridge that gap, and we can do that by having a fairer tax system.
Pasifika community members in Aotearoa, Te Anau, they want all political parties to up their commitment to protecting overstayers, as dozens took
Mhm.
part in the Savali Olifilemu march in central Auckland over the weekend. We're aware that you were at the event. Can you tell us how it
Yes.
went and what you hope will come from it?
Oh, it was really great to have our 5 and we also had Reverend Moore who was there. There was raining, and then he did a lotu, and the sun came out. So that
Well
was
done.
awesome. We have been very clear that we support an amnesty for overstayers, so supporting the work of the Pacific Leadership Forum and the Migrant Workers Association. We think that it's more than timely. It's actually late. This amnesty for an overstayers could have happened last year. Labor had all the numbers. They are were the majority in the House. It was they could have we could have had this over the line. This is what the community was asking for, and for me, um, it would have built on the apology from of the Dawn raids, because the apology was a start, but we needed to do other things, and an amnesty was as a part of that.
Mm.
So it was a great event. It was really good to hear people, and also, shout out to the organisers for pulling us all together.
Now, there are more debates yet to be had with our political parties. So, what policies are you most confident in speaking about when facing other parties?
What policies am I confident about? All of them, I gotta say.
Yeah.
Uh, if you're interested in our policies, just go to greens.org.nz. We've actually got a manifesto. I think we're the only party with one, which kind of spells out everything that we want to do around education, health, Pacifica community. So within the Pacifica space, of course, important for us is making sure that those immigration settings are set properly. And I'm thinking about our RSC workers when they come over here. We need to be able to treat them well and in a good way, uh, along with making sure that we do everything to do to support our relatives back in the islands, because our Pacific Islands are on the front lines of climate change.
And how important is it for Pacific communities to vote in this election, especially?
Please vote. Our family out there, relatives, please vote. This is your opportunity to have a say in our democracy.
Mm.
And also, what I would say is try to become as informed as possible about the different policies from the different political parties. Of course, I'm biased. I'm in the Greens. I think we've got the best policies, but just don't go voting because of the vibes.
Yeah.
It's really good it's best to actually find out what people stand for. And so we are standing for, the community and the climate, for people and planet, and people before profit. That's so important, making sure that everybody can have a warm house and food on the table and a dream and aspirations for their children and their grandchildren.
And finally, Tia, now, would you like to share any final thoughts?
Any final thoughts? Well, continuing thoughts. Well, the sun's out, so that's good, and hopefully people get a bit of time and space to spend time with their families and take a bit of walk in the sun. I mean, I know I've got to do that. I'm stuck inside arguing with other different political parties, so a bit of sunshine is good, because we are the sunshine people of the Pacific, and so I hope everyone has a good rest of the week.
Thank you so much for your time this morning, Tia. Now, it's a pleasure having you on the show.